The following program is sponsored by Fullerton Financial Planning.
Welcome to the Fullerton Financial Show with the founders of Fullerton Financial Planning, Stephanie and Steve Fullerton, a program designed to empower you to live financially confident in retirement. From income planning and wealth management to healthcare, defending against taxes, and leaving a legacy. Stephanie and Steve share the strategies and insights you need to help achieve retirement success. This is the Fullerton Financial Show.
Welcome back, everyone. I'm Tara Hitchcock. Joining me today, Steve and Stephanie Fullerton, the founders of Fullerton Financial Planning. It's the Fullerton Financial Show. I love talking to you guys. I don't necessarily love the topic of inflation.
Right, I know.
but today we are talking about ways to keep inflation at bay when it comes to your retirement. It has truly emerged as a major concern for people preparing for retirement. Inflation never sleeps. It keeps on going, and it can potentially make it more difficult for you to be able to afford your way of life in the future. No matter how much or how little you have, inflation impacts everyone. On the show today, we're going to tell you why you should not ignore inflation and some of the ways to combat it and live the retirement of your dreams, which is always a focus for the two of you. Why does inflation affect retirees so much?
Well, I like to say inflation is like one of those things called the silent killer. You don't even know that it's happened until after it's happened.
Right.
Until you start driving down the road and all of a sudden you see the gas pump. Or you don't think about this one, but housing, healthcare. Average cost of healthcare right now over the last several years has been averaging an increase every year of over 5%.
Wow.
Just healthcare. And reality is probably 70% of people that we sit down with don't plan for healthcare. They will say, I'm going to self-insure. And I don't know why that is, because statistically, at least one of us is going to need it. So why don't we prepare? Because we don't know how. We're scared. We think, well, it's kind of like having car insurance. I do not like paying car insurance. But if I'm in an accident,
right,
glad that I have it.
It's interesting. I'm dealing with that with my own parents right now, who have for years claimed they were very smart when it comes to preparing for their future. And they have basically ignored healthcare.
Yeah.
You would think that the Social Security cost of adjustment or cost of living adjustments might offset that, Steve?
Well, first of all, I don't want to rely on the government for anything, but we do use it as one of the streams of income,
Mm-hmm.
We certainly don't want that to be our only one. But cost of living adjustment with Social Security is 2%-ish, right in that figure.
Mm-hmm.
Well, last year alone in Arizona, inflation was 9, something like that. So even if you're getting your 2% cost of living, inflation, even nationally, is above that. So even though you're getting a 2% bump, you're kind of doing the Michael Jackson. It looks like I'm going forward, but I'm actually going a little bit backwards, even in a good year.
That was the moonwalk, Steve.
Is that what it was?
Yeah, well,
That's called the moonwalk.
The space or something. So,
Right.
if you think about it too, what I find very interesting, especially sitting down, a lot of people have forgotten that Social Security was not meant in itself to be your sole provider in retirement. It only makes up about 40% of your income in retirement. So where's the other income going to come from? And because Social Security, it does not keep up with inflation. I remember a few years back, my mom calls me up. She goes, I got my big raise in Social Security. It went up like $20 this month. And I will go, congratulations. You can afford a Starbucks, right?
Because that also went up.
Because that also went up,
We sit down with some people that their sole income is Social Security.
Wow.
And I'm going to tell you, their expenses, the HOA, groceries, they keep creeping up. So if you're on this fixed income of Social Security, that little 2% bump is not cutting it.
You actually led into my next point, which is you mentioned ways we obviously see inflation, whether it's at the gas pump or with milk prices or whatever. What are some other ways inflation could affect our retirement?
Well, I think there's a lot that we could talk about, but one that comes to my mind, I remember, Steve, it was back in 2020, and the restaurants were starting to open back up.
Mm-hmm.
And we saw a sign on some of the local restaurants that said, notice to our customers we've had to increase temporary increase to our menu, 20%, because of food shortages. I remember looking at Steve and going, those prices are going to never go down. They'll never come back down. And guess what? Those prices have never come down. Inflation is here. Prices are not going to go down. Another one, I don't know, cereal boxes. I remember the day that I opened it up, looking, thinking, somebody opened up my cereal before me and took out half my cereal.
I know, it does. I thought you were going to say I'm looking for the little prize in the cereal.
Well, that's Cracker Jack or
Right.
Cracker Jacks.
Right.
Jacks. But that's like, these are things that you're not even thinking about it. And all of a sudden you realize, we took our grandkids out to eat.
Yeah.
Don't say the name of the restaurant,
No.
fast food restaurant, but we went through the restaurant. We're 4 grandkids in our car and we're not even buying these Slurpees or whatever.
No, it was a
pricey.
meal with a prize inside of there where it comes in a box, and the kids love it. And my goodness sakes, I could not believe the cost of for those meals in a box.
Like $60. We're like,
how old are your grandkids? Next time, just go, it's closed today, kids.
Yes.
We're not going to be able to go by there.
Exactly.
So much to talk about, though. This is so helpful. Don't go anywhere. We've got a lot coming up on the Fullerton Financial Show, including the fact that Steve is going to leave for a few minutes. Stephanie and I are going to talk about some of the ways that women can take control of their wealth in retirement. That's in the Women's Wealth segment. And then later, Steve will be back, and he's going to talk about the search for the perfect investment. Is that even possible? Stay with us.
there's a new partnership in the Valley, and we couldn't be more excited. Fullerton Financial Planning is proud to partner with GCU Athletics, uniting our commitment to faith, family, and the future.
For 20 years, our heart has been helping families protect what's most important. And now, we're honored to bring that same commitment to the GCU community. Fullerton Financial Planning, your retirement game plan starts here. We're proud partners of GCU Athletics. Visit fullertonfp.com/GCU. Go Lopes!
Don't you love a good deal? If you're like me, you love finding things on sale. I want to tell you about a special sale you don't want to miss. Believe it or not, taxes are on sale. They're lower than they've been in decades, but just like back to school sale or Black Friday special, lower taxes are only here until 2026. Contact my team now to learn ways to take advantage of this tax sale while there's still time.
Welcome back to the Fullerton Financial Show. Welcome to the Women's Wealth segment. We miss Steve, but for the next few minutes, we're going to do without him because we're talking about the issues that specifically tend to affect women. And today it's the retirement savings cap and how women can take control of their financial future. Tell me about some of the contributing factors, Stephanie, to this gap.
Oh, the gap is huge. There's a lot of things that we could say could cause it. Take one that's obvious. A lot of women kind of take off in those middle years. They get married, they have children, they get busy raising their children, so they're not working as much, or maybe they're working part-time, or maybe they're not working at all. Everybody makes their choices for their family. So you've got that. And a lot of people don't think about just that little segment right there. One of the after effects of that is lower Social Security, because you haven't put as much money into Social Security. So there's one. I mean, hate to say it, but the facts are the facts. The truth is the truth. Women tend to make a little less than men make. So their earning power seems to be less. You know, we're seeing a difference in that in recent years, but still that is another challenge that we talk about. Longer life expectancies. You know, we've talked about it on other segments, how women, we live longer. Our life expectancy, believe it or not, 90 plus.
Wow.
Do you know what life expectancy for a man is?
Not 90 plus.
Yeah, take a guess.
70.
Yeah, a little higher.
Okay.
Yeah, hopefully, right?
Hopefully, my dad is in his late 70s,
right.
so hopefully
Yeah,
higher.
I mean, but you're talking, mid 80s for men, so we're living longer, which means that our money has to last longer. And the reality is, and I see it even in, with the clients that I've worked with, women tend to be the caretakers.
Right.
So you take care of your spouse, possibly money gets drained down because you're taking care of them. They pass away. Again, probabilities, don't know that for a fact, because we can do all the planning that, the men are going to pass away first. And I've had it,
Right.
the wife does, and that's a shocker. So there's a lot that contributes to it. And it's nothing that needs to stress us out or worry us. Steve says you don't know what you don't know. Here's the beauty of when you come into Fullerton Financial, we know what are some of those probabilities or possibilities, and we begin to make plans for that. So when it does happen, it doesn't shock us, it doesn't disturb us, it doesn't take away what we're trying to take care of.
So what are some of the ways that you all help close that gap?
Well, we're going to put together strong income strategies. I think the foundation of every retirement plan, every retirement goal needs to be income. If I can sit down with you and help you understand, how are you going to supplement when you're no longer working, when you no longer have that paycheck coming in every week or every other week or once a month, however you get paid, how are you going to take your current investments and make sure that they do not run out before you do?
What's interesting, aren't you seeing, I know I am, aren't you seeing women develop kind of these second interests and hobbies and benefiting financially from them? It's almost like a side business they're creating.
Yes, and what I love is that women are taking finances serious. They're coming in and they are really educated. Like they're saying, well, Stephanie, I started this stock class, or I started this finance class, and here's what I'm learning. So it makes it really a good conversation when we sit down, and I am sitting there going, here's what you need to do. Oh yeah, I've been learning about that. But I don't want that to intimidate women, because you don't need to know nothing. Like you can come in and I will help educate you. I love this about our company. Tara, we are constantly doing what we call lunch and learns, coffee talks, where we have like a hour class. Come in, we'll teach you everything from finances to how to do pictures on your camera. Tara, you're so good at that. Like you're constantly, how to do all
I know,
this.
I'm whipping out my camera, even on this show, taking behind the scenes
and
stuff.
I love that. And people love those. We even, for our widows, we'll do glamour shots.
I think that's a great.
I love that.
I feel like a spa day is next. If you're doing coffee talks and lunches, we're this close to a spa day.
We need to do a off-site segment where you and I
are just in masks.
We're just in masks, and we are talking about the best spas in Phoenix. I think that's a good show.
And maybe Steve shows up, maybe he doesn't.
Well,
maybe he's in a robe, maybe he's not. We don't know.
Exactly.
I think we have time for one more thing. You mentioned statistically we tend to last a little bit longer than men do. So for the women concerned that they might outlive their savings, where do you start with those?
You've got to come in, sit down. I know that sounds like, oh, well, that, give us more.
Right.
The reality is, if you will sit down with us, we will show you where you're at, how long your money's going to last, what's the probability that it's going to last. A lot of women don't understand how much risk they're carrying. They don't understand the longevity of their money. They don't even know how and when to maybe take Social Security. We will show you the answers to this, then help you build out a plan, and then walk you through it. And we're just not going to show it to you. Goodbye, see you later. We implement it. We talk to you 2 or 3 times a year. We visit with you because life happens. We always say this, hope for the best, but we plan for the worst.
And it's never too late to start, because as you know, I was late to the game on this whole subject, as you and I have discussed, and it's never too late to start. All right, we'll bring Steve back in the next segment. Stephanie, thank you so much. Coming up, Steve is going to talk to us and help us search for that one perfect investment, or is that even a possibility? And later, we're going to answer some of your biggest questions about retirement and finances. Stay with us. It's the Fullerton Financial Show.
When you address your financial concerns, it can lead to greater confidence about your future.
At Fullerton Financial Planning, our workshops focus on common issues that people preparing for and in retirement face.
Issues like income needs, medical expenses, and legacy planning. Many of the treasured relationships that we've built started with a visit to one of our workshops.
Call or visit fullertonfp.com for a complete list of upcoming events and to register.
When it comes to taxes, you want to pay more or less? I'll bet you're like me, you'd rather pay less in taxes. How can you do that? When you use certain strategies, you can take more control over your taxes. When you pay taxes on the contributions of your retirement account, that's like taxing the seed. But if you wait and pay taxes when you're taking it out, it's like paying on the harvest. Contact our team today to talk about strategies that can help you pay taxes on the seed, not the harvest. We'll see you soon.
Welcome back, everyone. In this week's Fullerton Factor, Steve is going to talk about why searching for that one perfect investment isn't necessarily the best way to plan for your retirement. Steve?
In our line of work, we talk to a lot of smart, successful people about their retirement. And over the years, I've noticed a common theme. Many people are searching for a perfect investment, like one magic bullet that will solve all their financial needs in retirement. They're looking for that one single ideal place to put all of their money where it'll be completely safe, grow like a weed, and be available at the moment they need it. I get it. The appeal of a simple, one-stop solution is strong. It would certainly make retirement planning a lot easier, but the hard truth is that there is no perfect investment. It doesn't exist. It's a myth. And chasing it can often lead to making poor decisions with your life savings. Let's break it down. When you think about what you need for your money in retirement, it really comes down to three main goals. First, you need to know that your money that you've worked so hard to save won't disappear overnight in a market downturn. This is the foundation, your security. You need to feel confident that your money will be there when you need it. Second, you need your retirement to last for 20, 30, or even 40 years? Inflation is always working against you, making everything more expensive over time. Your money just can't sit there. It needs to keep working for you, growing enough to keep pace with inflation and maintain your purchasing power for the long haul. And then third, life happens. An unexpected medical bill, a major home repair, or a fantastic opportunity to travel with your grandchildren could pop up at any time. You need to have access to a portion of your money without jumping through hoops or paying steep penalties. Now here's the crucial part. No single investment or financial product on the planet give you all three of these things. It's about building a sound strategy using a combination of different financial tools. By strategically allocating your assets, placing some money in the safe, some money in the accessible, and some money geared for long-term growth, you can create a balanced portfolio that meets all of your needs. It's not about finding that perfect investment. It's about building a perfect plan. We're here to help you do that. You spent a lifetime working and worrying about your money. Now is the time to stop searching for the magic bullet and start building a real, comprehensive strategy. If you're ready to gain clarity and feel confident that your finances are structured to give you safety, growth, liquidity that you need, then let's talk. At Fullerton Financial Planning, we can help you put the pieces of the puzzle together. Please don't wait. Reach out to us today and set up a time to meet. You've done enough of the hard work. Let us help you enjoy it. Tara, back to you.
Thanks so much, Steve. Coming up next, time to answer some of your retirement questions. One of my favorite parts of the show. It's our Q&A segment up next.
When it comes to taxes, you want to pay more or less? I'll bet you're like me, you'd rather pay less in taxes. How can you do that? When you use certain strategies, you can take more control over your taxes. When you pay taxes on the contributions of your retirement account, that's like taxing the seed. But if you wait and pay taxes when you're taking it out, it's like paying on the harvest. Contact our team today to talk about strategies that can help you pay taxes on the seed, not the harvest. We'll see you soon.
There's a new partnership in the Valley, and we couldn't be more excited. Fullerton Financial Planning is proud to partner with GCU Athletics, uniting our commitment to faith, family, and the future.
For 20 years, our heart has been helping families protect what's most important. And now, we're honored to bring that same commitment to the GCU community. Fullerton Financial Planning, your retirement game plan starts here. We're proud partners of GCU Athletics. Visit fullertonfp.com/GCU. Go Lopes!
Welcome back, everyone. One of our favorite parts of the show. This is a chance for Steve and Stephanie to answer some of your questions. We've got some good ones today. I want to start with Cynthia from Phoenix. Her question is, I'm worried about taxes when I retire. I've heard you mention life insurance for tax-free income. Does that really work?
Yes, it really does work. It's a little hidden secret out there that a lot of broker firms aren't going to talk about because that's not how they do business. They do business by buying and selling and buying and selling and buying and selling. We at Fullerton Financial, we are retirement planners. We are going to sit down and we're going to look at all ways to create different strategies. So taking a life insurance, yes, it is used for legacy. It can be used and most commonly used as a death benefit, but there are so many other tools that people are missing out on. And one of the favorite ways that I love building tax efficient income, Cynthia, please come see me. It is so incredible because we can look inside of a life insurance policy and use new innovative ways to create strategies that living off of the death benefit while you're still living to create tax-free income. It is amazing. Now, understand you got to qualify for it, and there's a little couple rules that go along with it. But we have helped so many people, including ourselves. It's one of the strategies that Steve and I use. So please, Cynthia, come in and see us. I love doing that type of strategy work.
Great question. I'm not sure if we've had that question before.
No, it's a great question.
Our next one comes from Greg in Tempe. Greg says, my wife recently passed away, and we're sorry to hear about that, Greg. And he's wondering if I need to start being more conservative with my money. How do I figure out if there are other places for my money that keep me from taking maybe too much risk?
Well, yes, Greg, we do give our condolences to him. That's a tough situation that happens in life, and we deal with it, unfortunately, on a fairly regular basis. But with this new normal for Greg, what he really needs to do is come sit down. Let's talk about a new normal. Let's talk about what his needs are and his goals are, and make sure income is squared away. I mean, whether Greg knows it or not, or anyone that loses a spouse, their income taxes are going to be affected. Oftentimes, we don't even think about it, but you get put into a much more aggressive tax bracket, which is super unfortunate, but it is. Those are the laws. So really what he should do is come sit down. Let's talk about a new normal. Let's talk about his goals. Being more conservative, absolutely, it may be the right choice. But that would be what I would suggest for Greg to do.
Can I ask you, what does a consultation look like? When someone comes into your office and sits down with someone on your team, what does that even look like? What do they bring with them, and what takes place?
Oh, that's such a good question. As you're sitting there talking about Greg, I was thinking, oh my goodness, I wish Greg would have been our client before his spouse had passed away. Because what Greg would be experiencing now is more of just understanding that, again, we hope for the best, but we plan for the worst. We would have already had strategies in place.
Right.
Greg would have already known the answer. Because when you sit down with us, and let's just talk about the first meeting. You come in, We're going to get to know you. We want to know, how did you accumulate your money? Like, what did you do? Like, there's so many interesting things that people have done out there. Building a relationship is super important to our team. We want to find out, what do you have? How do we put it all together? Because what most people have is either a junk drawer. You know what I'm talking about, don't you?
Absolutely.
Where you just throw everything in, but you know where that something is when you need it. Or they have a puzzle box. Our job is to take the junk drawer and organize it, or the puzzle, and begin to put the pieces together.
Well, another nice thing too, and we've talked about this on previous shows, is a lot of people always say, well, how much do I need to be able to retire? That also depends on what your interests are. If you're into horses, you might need a little bit more than if you're not. And that's another thing that takes place. Yeah, lifestyle.
And what I so appreciate about our company, you know, my mom and I started this company 21 years ago. And I made a vow at that time, Tara, that we wanted to help whoever came through our door, if we could, because sometimes we can't. And we're very transparent on that. So we will sit down with anybody and everybody that walks in. And if we can help them, we're going to show them. And that first and second visit, there's no cost to it. So why wouldn't you do it? Just so you can see where you're at, understanding the risk that you're taking, know when and how to take Social Security, know when to pay taxes. Like, it's all a big puzzle that we help you put together.
I think we have time for one more question. This one comes from Barb in Peoria. Her question is, my husband and I would like to retire in the next 5 years, but we aren't sure when the best time is to start taking out Social Security. You just alluded to that.
Yeah.
When is that?
Well, I'm going to just tell Barb, the 5 years prior to and the 5 years after retirement are critical years. If you make the wrong decision then, it can have a devastating effect on our retirement. So I'm glad that they're thinking ahead. Now, the other thing I'm going to say is about Social Security. Just because we can take it at age 62, that's when they say you can take Social Security, full retirement 66 in some months, and then you can defer it out to age 70 to get the maximum benefit into something that we've been paying into for decades. So we want to maximize the dollar value to our clients to fit their needs and their goals best. But there's hundreds upon hundreds of ways how a married couple can take their Social Security. So what we do for our clients is we can run an analysis on Social Security, all the numbers plugged in, to show them how the numbers play out, when the most beneficial time for them to take Social Security is as well.
Bottom line is come in and see the team. Quick question. Where do you get your socks? That's the question I get asked. Where does Steve get his socks?
Stephanie, where does Steve get his stocks?
Amazon,
Come into Fullerton Financial and they'll tell you all about Steve's socks. I actually do get that question a lot from people. So if you're ready to create a tax-efficient retirement plan designed to protect your wealth, generate income for life, and leave a lasting legacy, now is the time to connect with the team at Fullerton Financial Planning. For Steve and Stephanie and the entire team, I'm Tara Hitchcock. Thanks so much for watching us. We'll see you next week on the Fullerton Financial Show.
The preceding program was sponsored by Fullerton Financial Planning.